The University of Pennsylvania has over 10,000 graduate and professional students. Many of their degrees require that they perform work for the university, and depending on their program, they can make over $30,000 per academic year. Many of these salaried students, both graduate and professional, work as teaching assistants and research assistants. And well over 1,000 of them have been working for the past year to form their very own labor union. Their group is called Get Up, which is an acronym for Graduate Employees Together, University of Pennsylvania. As of now, Get Up represents 7 of Penn's 12 graduate schools. Grad students' argument for wanting a labor union is pretty simple. If the university is going to pay them to do work, then they must be, by definition, employees and able to negotiate with their employer. In other words, they want leverage. They want a contract with the people who are paying them. So at the crux of their campaign is this central question. Are the graduate students, who are paid by the university, considered students or workers? Let's start by looking at the law.
What did it say? Penn works because we do.
The National Labor Relations Board is the body responsible for protecting the rights of private sector employees. In 2000, the board ruled that private school graduate students can form unions, but they went back on that in 2004. And then last summer, Columbia graduate students appealed the 2004 decision and they won, setting the stage for graduate students at other private schools to unionize. But this hasn't been so easy. Based on legislation, Penn grad students should be able to unionize. However, they have faced 3 big stumbling blocks, the biggest of which is perhaps Penn's own administration. So challenge number 1 is that Penn administrators disagree with the legal precedent and they don't think grad students are workers in the first place. Even though there isn't a whole lot they can actually do to block the union from forming, there's a lot they can do and have been doing to stall the process. When Get Up made their campaign public in March of 2017, the university published a statement that said they're proud of their graduate students, emphasizing their status as mentees and future employees as opposed to current ones. Despite this statement, Get Up continued to work. They got signatures from who they think should be in the union and brought them over to the local National Labor Relations Board, whose job is to iron out the specifics of the union and facilitate an election among those who they decide the union will represent. The process is supposed to be straightforward. You bring the signatures, the NLRB confirms or changes the composition of the union, and then you have an election. But the university is stalling the process. In June, instead of agreeing to Get Up's proposed union and letting the NLRB handle the rest, the university called a hearing with the NLRB and Get Up to debate the terms of the election and who would be eligible to vote in it. The hearing has delayed the election process by over a month and counting. As of late August, the NLRB has yet to announce who Get Up will ultimately represent and when they can finally have their election. But Penn isn't the only force standing in Get Up's way. The pro-union group also faces strong opposition from within Penn's graduate student community. For instance, students in biomedical graduate studies, an arm of Penn Medicine, are included in Get Up as it stands now. But most BGS students don't have teaching assistant requirements, so they don't want to be in a union that isn't going to be relevant to them. They say they wouldn't add anything to a labor strike, they'd just lose a day of work. And an internal survey of BGS has proven that the students are against the measure. Finally, challenge number 3 is the Trump administration, which could disrupt grad student unionization efforts nationwide. The Federal National Labor Relations Board consists of 5 positions, 2 of which Trump is supposed to fill. He's appointed people for both spots. One has been sworn in, and the other is a Senate vote away from being approved. Trump's picks are both conservative and pro-employer. So if they're appointed, the board's balance could shift back to conservative and reverse the ruling from Columbia that allowed grad students to unionize in the first place. This would take away the legal precedent that Get Up needs, and all of their efforts could amount to nothing.